Okay, welcome again, Standing Strong. We've got another workout for you. We're just going to get straight into it today. We'll do a bit of everything. Bit of cardio. We do want to concentrate on a lot of cardio with our Zoom classes because we don't probably get enough endurance, I don't reckon, in our lives. There's a few walkers among you, which you probably do, but there's a lot of times where, unless you're in the garden, like someone was just mentioning, where you get a lot of movement. There's a lot of times when we're just sitting around, not moving much. And that's not to feel guilty about it. It's just kind of the way that I think Western lifestyles are structured. And we have to do a lot more to move more because of the environment. So if we can just meet a couple of times a week, get moving, it's going to be good for us. So well done for making that commitment to yourself. Hopefully you can continue to make all the improvements you need to make. Just open yourselves up a bit. I enjoy moving with you. I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you with these things, like all the sitting that we do. It's, I always find physiotherapy is an ironic job because you spend a lot of time sitting down telling people to stand up. It's just a really funny job. Whereas a personal trainer, they're actually in gym all the time and they're doing their job like active. So they're actually, they practice what they preach a bit more than we do, but yeah, so there you go. We're just warming everything up, getting everything moving. Welcome to you if you've just joined. Good to see your faces on Zoom. And then just do some kind of like figure eights. Like so. And then from here and then out. So push out. Don't hurt yourself. This one is a bit of a nerve stretch. So again, if anything feels a bit twangy, is that a word? I think you know what I mean by that. If it feels a bit too much, just rein it in a little bit. All right, and then let's just do our ragdoll. I've just got to close this door. Look, all the flies getting in. So one more time. Good, and then let's just do the clock. So this is the one where we get our elbows and forearms moving. All of this is mobility work, so your heart rate shouldn't be really doing a whole lot different at rest. Maybe a few beats faster a minute, but not a whole lot. We're just trying to get all our body primed for the bigger movements, so that when you do the bigger movements, you're not suddenly surprised by the fact you were stiff in one spot. Have you noticed that sometimes when you go for a walk or do something more strenuous, you realise, man, I didn't realise that joint was so stiff. But if you spent time warming it up, it's a good time to just say, oh, hey, it was. And it means you don't get those sudden surprises, which is often what leads to injury. It's good for you to guys share some of your injury stories. A classic one is when people tear their calf muscle when they're running for the train. If that's happened to you, let us know at the end. And it's because you've kind of been standing still, suddenly you just all of a sudden go, but you don't realise how stiff you were and it just exceeds the muscle's capacity. All right, so this one, again, if you can't get your shoulders up here, that's fine. Just you can do it a bit lower. I love our Friday classes because the ukulele band plays behind me. And so I feel like we've got a backing track with really friendly, happy music. All right, so feet apart, nice and slow. I'm going to call it hip rectangles because it's more a rectangular movement than a circle. And you want to be nice and slow. Notice that I'm leading with my hips. I'm not really doing it with my trunk is following my hips, and you're just trying to get a stretch out. You feel it behind, and then you'll feel it in front, and you'll feel it inside and outside. So all the four kind of corners of your hip get to work out. And you want to make sure you do both directions because you feel the force slightly differently. All right. Feet together, knees together. Both directions, and only go down as deep as you feel comfortable to. Good. All right, so come up onto your tiptoes, and then as you come down one at a time, but really accentuate that movement. So if you were to see the side, like my toes, I'm really coming up onto the ball of my foot there, but keeping my toes there. So if you can see that. And notice your trunk at the top then kind of goes from side to side. So you should feel it in your calf muscles. And if you do it slow, it'll actually be a little bit of a balance challenge as well for some people. Really good warm up. Good. All right. So stand on one leg, and we'll just move our ankle around in a nice circle. Other side, just moving around the circle. Notice it's a balance exercise as well as a mobility. Okay, all right. Now we're starting. I hope you feel a bit warmed up there. I'm going to get into a bit more next level stuff, as in heart rate start to go up, balance go up a bit more. And so stand on one leg, and I want you to do like a unicycle. Now, if you can't balance on one leg, you might want to do this holding on to the back of a chair. All right? But you're trying to keep everything else still. Try and get these hips still. And try not to do what I just did. And so you can tell, like, I find this challenging too. So if you find it challenging, don't think that you're failing in any way. Really just having a go. And I think, we'll flip over sides. I don't know if you relate with this, but I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with this. We often compare ourselves to some sort of model of perfection if we can't get there as soon as we'd like. And then we often feel a little bit hard on ourselves. You can feel a bit low if you don't get to where you need to get to. And that can sometimes be with if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're trying to get rid of knee pain, or you're trying to get stronger, or get past an injury, or whatever your goal might be. Let's just do some, back to the other side, just some swing throughs. Yeah, so just encourage you to take those little by little gains. Try not to be too hard on yourself, and see any time that you do make a mistake, or where you feel like you've failed, don't view it as a failure, just as an opportunity to kind of go, oh, how can I improve that? So you know all this stuff already. You're probably telling people, telling your grandkids this themselves. But yeah, let's try and apply it to ourselves as well. Nice swing throughs. Good. Let's just do some balance now. So single leg balance, foot out to the side, lift up here, into here. Now, this might be enough for some of you, but if you can, right, have your hands here, and we're just going to do some ins and outs, if you can. I haven't done this for a couple of weeks, so I'm feeling a bit rusty. And if you do that, just to start again. and then swap over the sides. So other side out, lift up to the side, into here. Wait till you get your balance first. Whoa. It's hard, isn't it? Harder than it looks. Okay, and then back here again. Now we're going to do one involving some head movements. They come into a tandem stance or a tightrope stance with your feet like so. Now I'll explain this first before you do it. If you have an active vestibular issue like vertigo or something like that, you might want to just watch first and see if it's appropriate. Because we're going to turn our head and move our head, and you can feel a bit dizzy, and you can actually overbalance. So get yourself sorted out and balanced. And what I want you to do in this position is just nod your head as if you were saying yes. And nice big nods if you were really saying yes. Okay. And it's actually a little bit harder than it feels like it should be. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say no. And I actually struggle with this today for a minute. You might be finding this hard. And what we're doing is we're just changing what's happening at the inner ear receptors, which, you know, if you feel seasick, you know, that's often inner ear type issues, or vertigo, dizzy. There's a lot of inner ear issues. We're just training that part as well. So swap over legs. Say yes. Okay, and then no, and just try and keep everything else as stable as you can. And I'm actually doing it. This is tough. Excellent. Okay, we're going to do one more balance exercise, and we'll get into some figure stuff. So, standing on one leg, we're going to tap in front, and then back to the middle. Tap to the side, and then back to the middle. Tap behind, back to the middle, and tap to the other side, and back to the middle. So that's one repetition. Let's just try and do 5 repetitions on each leg. So, tap, and then up. Tap, then up, tap, then up, tap, which is probably the hardest one, and then up. Good, again. And you can do it nice and rhythmically. Try and keep really stable. This knee can bend if you need to. It'll naturally just want to bend and straighten in different parts. That's fine. One more. This is a challenging exercise. You'll feel it in this hip. You feel it there? Okay, just work out your hips there. Let's do the other side. Okay, so lift up, down. There, behind, inside, there, behind. Good. You don't have to go as fast as I am, you just go at your own pace, whatever feels comfortable to you. Sometimes fast is actually easier though for some people. One more. I think I lost count there, sorry. Okay. Good. All right. Just sort yourself out. Excellent. Okay, good. We are going to get into some cardio and some leg work again today. So let's just start with running on the spot or walking on the spot if that's what you need to do. And just try and get your Arms going as well. And we're going to come forward. And then backwards. Watch where you're going, of course. Especially if you've got the edge of a rug or something at home. And notice we're not taking like big steps forward. Like we're not running forward like this. We're just taking really little fast steps. Right? Little fast steps. Working on your quickness. And then we're going to go, same thing, little fast step to the side. Working on your foot speed. Working on your foot speed. Okay, now we're going to go into a block. So we're going to go forward, sideways, backwards, sideways. And your box is going to be only as big as your room is, right? Doesn't matter if it's a really small one. Now we're going to go the other way around. Just rest anytime you need to. Good. All right. Crouch down a little bit, and we're going to do the well. So imagine we're lifting a bucket up from a well. And you can kind of squat down a little bit. If you've been gardening today, this is probably what you felt like, so this might be a bit too sore. Good. And then press forward and step back. Then kind of like a shot put up. Then the ski up. You can make up your own exercise by just thinking of an everyday movement or a movement that happens in sports and just trying to replicate it. The good thing about those sort of things is they're rhythmical. You can kind of repeat them. You don't need a whole lot of space. Then you can go as fast as you want with this one. You can step it out, or you can really get going. You know, this is a one that you can do as fast as you feel like you can without hurting yourself. Or you can just go at this kind of speed. Gotta make sure your rhythm's there. Okay, back onto the squat. Well done. Right, really fast. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back onto the squat. And we're going to do that again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. Just sort of rock from side to side. Excellent. Well done. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of leg strength now. So let's do some calf raises. You might want to have a chair just for balance. You don't need one, but sometimes having one just for fingertip support, because we're going to go up onto your toes like so. You can do this like this, just fine, if that's where you're at. But a lot of people lose balance when they go up to their tip toes, so you can just have something like a bench. Try and come right up. So your feet, your heels are trying to come right up. Don't let your knees kind of do this. Try and keep your knees straight for this particular one. And you feel it in the calf muscles. Good. With the chair still, just the balance. Going to try and lift this leg out, 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 and then a little bit further. Out, 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 out. A little bit further. Keep your knee facing forward, your toes facing forward. Don't let them come out and spin that way. Keep them facing forward. And it is hard. Keep your balance, isn't it? You'll feel it right in the hip. You feel it on this side as well as it tries to stabilise you. Swap around sides. Good. Okay. So going to do, you can, for any of these exercises too, if you have ankle weights, you can use ankle weights for these ones if you're doing this in the future. So try and stand in a step stance facing the chair. Your back knee is, your foot's back, your back knee is in line with your other knee and slightly bent. And you're just going to go push back, but you're going to push back from your hip muscle. So it's like, we call this a donkey kick, right? So try and push back from your hip. You should feel it there. If you feel it there, try and use your hip a bit more. Good, swap over sides. Excellent. Excellent. Let's get onto our chairs and do the sit to stand challenge. So we'll do 3 sets of 30 seconds. Okay, so you can use your hands if you need to. Just try and make sure that your knees don't collapse inwards when you do it. Ready, set, go. You can do whatever you want with your hands. You can do whatever you want with the width of your feet too. Okay, stop there. And it's a good idea to keep a written record of your best scores for this, because it's a measure that really closely equates with how strong you are in the research. If you've been coming to class and you're a Banksia and you don't have any major knee, hip, lower limb issues, I would expect you to probably be doing between 15 and 20. if you're an Angofera, probably between 25 and 30 if you don't have any major issues. And if you're in P1, probably about 5 to 10. So everyone's different, but just to give you a target. Okay, so let's do that again. Ready, set, go. Stop there. Good. Well done, have a rest. When you're resting, you can just rock side to side. It's often good not to be perfectly still in a rest because your muscles can just get a bit stiff, eh? We'll do one more set, then we'll warm down. And just so you see, like, I think I'll try and go for it this time just so you get an idea of, a different idea for, I've worked about 25 years of youth, so I don't expect you to go fast, but just do what you can. Though I don't hold the record in standing strong. There's another person that beats me every time, so we'll see you go. All right, are you ready? Set, go. Good. I think I did 30 or 31, I'm not sure. Oh, good, have a rest, have a drink. Well done. Yeah, someone in class has done 37, would you believe? It's unreal. Unreal. Okay. Let's warm down. Just rocking from side to side. Just allow your breathing rate to come down a bit. Just stepping up and over. Just get those legs. Don't have to go as fast for this time. Just try and get those feet moving again. All right, back into your hip rectangles. You can do it a little bit more flowy this time, and more like a hula hoop. Just swing through now. I'm just gonna, you don't have to put your arm up in the air. There's actually something to hold on to on the ceiling, so you don't need to do this. I'm just holding on to something. Okay. Okay. Good. Nice ankle rolls there. Excellent. Let's just shake it out. We'll just do our 3 deep breaths to finish with. So deep breath in, and then push out. Deep breath in, and then try and relax your body as you breathe out. Deep breath in. Just take a moment to reset. So there you have it, a bit of an all-round workout there. Get your energy up. Well done.